So let's start today's episode by admitting I have done a thing. But I think we should all remember the title of this series. This is FM22 Mercenary. So here's the thing, we've played through the winter break, we got to January, that pesky January transfer window opened and the bids started raining in for all of our little favourites. Many of them have already got pre-contract agreements lined up with other clubs now, including players like Vavusta, Yaya, who's got a move lined up to Serie A. But we also started receiving cash offers for lots of our players as well. We fended them all off, we were looking good, but then we got closer to the end of the January window and bids started coming in for the one player that we can't do without. That's right, Uwe Fürstenhofer. But clubs started coming in with some really decent bids. To begin with, they were clubs that he wasn't too interested in, such as Montpellier in France, Club Brugge in Belgium, and even a couple of top division clubs from Austria. But he wasn't interested in them all because he had his heart set on a move to Rennes. No, Rennes. No, Rennes. Yes, you get it, Rennes. So that made it rather easy to turn all of these bids down because he didn't want to really leave us until an even bigger club came a-calling. Borussia Dortmund came in and made an offer, and I went into self-preservation mode, knowing that either he was going to want to leave or they came back with a bigger renewed offer. The board might jump in. I decided to negotiate it myself. I pumped up the value of the transfer to $8.5 million, but crucially, I also put in that we would be able to loan him back for the next 6 months with an $8.5 million transfer fee confirmed and the option to loan him back until the time when we're going to be leaving the club. We decided to sell the player. He's rejoined on loan, so we can use him for the rest of the season. But going forward, Austria Wien are going to have to do without their star man, and it had a double little boost for us because the board were also delighted that we'd achieved one of the promises we made when we first took on the club, and that was helping repair the club's financial damage. So I will leave you to decide down in the comment section whether you think we've done a good thing or not. Certainly, we're happy we get the use of our best player, plus we kept him happy and from disgruntling the rest of the squad. The player's certainly happy, he's going to be moving to one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and the board are happy that we've brought in a sizable transfer fee, in fact, a record transfer fee for this club. But have we been a little bit selfish? Arguably, if we'd have got the club promoted, then all of this talk about moving to Dortmund might have died down and they could have committed the player to a longer term contract after we'd left, and their star man could play on. But I have to keep reminding myself, this is FM22 Mercenary. I've got to make sure that I make the decisions that allow us to progress in our career. But at least we've managed to avoid a full-on mutiny. I think if we'd have turned down that offer from Dortmund, not only would the player have thrown his toys out of the pram, but I think those team leaders would have been in our office as well. We've played through the winter break, we played a few friendlies, and we've had some movement in our games as well. We've won both of our 2 league fixtures so far, and our rivals for promotion, Altach, have not. They've drawn one of their games, so we'll show you the league table in a moment. It has concertinaed up a little bit again, and crucially, in our cup quarter-final game against a team from the same division as us, and not a great team either, we've managed to make progress to the semi-final, which we're going to bring you today. We got goals from Schick, Keles and Ivkic, which have lined us up for a semi-final game today against Admira. They are from the division above, as are all of the teams that are left in the competition apart from ourselves. But crucially, we've managed to avoid Red Bull Salzburg at the semi-final stage, and Admira are nowhere near as high up in the table as Salzburg are. They top it. Admira are all the way down there in 9th. As they are playing Reed in their semi-final, you would expect them to progress, but playing the 9th-based team from the division above gives us the sneakiest of outside chances, I would say. They're only a few places above us in the hierarchy, given that we're 3rd in the division below, and they're not in particularly good form either. Apart from their cup progress, They've been losing lots and lots of games and are only staying above the drop zone thanks to picking up the occasional draw, so you never know. There is a chance for today's game. Let's give you the background to the club we're up against using our scout report before we show you the squad for today's game. We've been making strong progress in the Austrian Cup. So today we've brought you back for a semi-final clash where we've been drawn against Bundesliga opposition in the form of Admira Wacker. Admira are currently struggling in 9th place in the Bundesliga, but have a strong squad that includes KEITO Nakamura as well as Jonathan Scherzer, who marshals the back line. Veteran coach Jörg Zellhofer will be hoping to make up for a disappointing league campaign by setting up the chance for a trophy for his side as Austria Wien host Admira Wacker. So we're pretty settled in our shape now. After a little bit of experimentation at the start of the season, we've fallen into this 4-4-2, and I think it's the shape we're going to keep for our Austria Wien team all the way to the end of the season. But for today's game, one thing we are going to do is just nudge the mentality down from attacking all the way to balanced. We are going to be against a superior team, and as we saw in our last episode, where we played RB Salzburg's B team, we were completely outclassed, and I went out there with an attacking mentality. So we're not going to make that mistake today. We're also going to be missing one of our key men today. Unfortunately, Vedat Yilmaz, who is developing incredibly well. He could be a midfielder or a defensive-minded midfielder or even a centre-back at 6'5". He's going to be unavailable for the game. He's got a pulled thigh, out for about another week. We are going to miss him today because he just brings a little bit of calm and assurance to our midfield. Without him, it's a little bit patched up. We're going to be playing Maximilian Becker, who's played most of his season as a centre-half. He's only 17 years old, by the way, but Straussy is back for us from injury. He's played the last couple of games, so he's going to slot in at centre-back, and Becker is going to fill in for Yilmaz in midfield. So far in FM22 Mercenary, progress in the cup competitions has eluded us, but here we have the chance to set up a final in the Austrian Cup. It's not going to be an easy game. Cross everything you've got. Let's go out there and see if we can topple a team from the division above us and make it all the way to the final. So if we could just get to the 20-30 minute mark at 0-0, I think that would be a good result for us. We just want a first 30 minutes with hardly any highlights in. We've made it to 10, and it's not happened. We've got another one. We've slung a very deep ball in, and they've nodded it back to their keeper, and I think this is going to be a highlight for the opposition as they are starting off with the ball. They've gone long. We're relying on our centre-backs. What on earth has he just done? And we've given away a goal already, and I'm pretty sure that's one of our experienced players, Vostri, who has done some kind of tripping motion as he's gone forward to head the ball. We'll pause it, and what is he doing there? The ball is about, 15 feet in the air? And I don't know, he's jumped for it, and then he's just staggered over and turned round. The guy is an absolute clown. And it leaves us 1-0 down in the cup semi-final already, hunting for our first shout. We're going to go with demand more. This is exactly the start that I didn't want. Don't concede a goal early. Just play your way into the game. The boys have not done it. It looks like Salzburg are ahead in their semi as well. We've managed to win the ball back deep in our own half. We've fired it up the field. We've given it straight to the opposition. We've got a lot of work on in this game. I am conscious of the fact that in our recent episodes, we have been poor. We lost the last game to the top of the table. We drew 0-0 with Oltak in the episode before that. And now we could be getting absolutely blitzed by a top division side in the Austrian Cup semi-final. It's making our time at Austria Wien look like it's been a bit of a disappointment as we rely on our keeper once more to keep us in the game. But honestly, we've been doing well. We showed you last episode we're only the 9th highest spenders in our division, yet we're 3rd in the table, and we're in an Austrian Cup semi-final. We're just bringing you back for the very biggest games rather than just bringing you back for episodes where we are rolling over weaker opposition. Okay, I have nudged it up from balance to positive on the mentality. Maybe we're being a little bit too passive. Maybe I made a mistake dropping it from attacking in the first place, because we haven't looked any more solid for bringing the mentality down. And it's led to a highlight for them. No, it's not. It's Schmerker who's actually on the ball, counter-attacking for us. He's given it to the fullback Schick. And it was the corner that was the highlight. It's petered out. We've played poorly in front of our own fans. It's time to give them an absolute rocket and maybe even make a sub too. Okay, for the second half, I've decided to gamble a little bit. I've decided to move Fürstenhofer behind the strikers. I've brought Kellers off the bench to play on the left wing. And I've also taken off Fidani and brought Ivkic on as a striker, because Fidani was on a 6.4 rating. Whether that will have any impact, I don't know. The team talk's gone well, but we're going to need more in this second half. We've at least forced an early corner, and I think we've forced an early penalty, because less than a minute into the second half, we are up at the spot. Is it going to be Meshta taking the penalty? It's not. It's Schick. It's the veteran. He's tucked it away. We're tied at 1-1. I'm not claiming it was the changes that got us into the game there. It was a foul from a corner. But we are back in the game. Schick has sent the keeper the wrong way. Bit of experience and nous from the old boy. It's got us back into the game. We're not playing well, but we could throw out another shout, although we've got a corner. We're looking a bit more threatening now. Vostri gets up. The shout, I think, is going to be encouraged. 14 minutes left. We've got our next highlight. And it's one that has led to a goal. It's Nakamura. I did think he was going to be the danger man. He's powered a header in. I thought it might be his pace and his trickery that caused us problems today. Not his aerial prowess. How has this ball gone in so easily? Oh, it's Schick. It's the right back. He's just not even made a movement towards the ball. Now we've got, 14 minutes to try and hunt for another equaliser. We're going to have to get into the highlights once more. He's miles onside. And try and force something. Let's go into the tactics first of all and see if we can make another little change to our side. I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to go up to the attack mentality. I think we might ask a little bit more from Fürstenhofer as well. Maybe could he be an on-rushing shadow striker? He's a terrible finisher. We're going to have to get Koffler further forward as well. Could he be an inverted wing-back on attack? Goodness knows where he's going to be popping up around the field. And I still think we're going to save our last change, because if we do make that final change and then pick up an injury, we're going to be down to 10 men. We're going to need a shout as well. Let's go for demand more. We have got back into this game. We've both had 10 shots. But we need another goal. We're approaching injury time and it's not coming. We're in injury time. What else can we do? We can move the wingers forward. We could move the fullbacks forward. Other than that, what else can we do? We don't really have any extra strikers on the bench. I could take a centre-half off and play an extra man in midfield. But if we did take the game to extra time, well, we would be stranded then, I think. I'm not even going to make our final change. No, I am. I'm going to make a little change. We're going to bring... Oh, goodness me. The substitute's on a 6.3. Let's change Becker out. He's pretty tired. Let's bring on Babs to play at the base of the midfield. At least he's going to be fresh as a one-man midfield. Bring us a bit of energy, but I don't think it's going to have any effect on the game. We've got 40 seconds left. We're on the attack. Safine's got down the right. Ivkic has got in. Have we got a last-minute equaliser? Has it? It's an own goal. I thought Ivkic had got in at the edge of the 6-yard box. He hasn't. Somehow, one of their players has forced it. It's the player that slid in. He sent it past his own keeper. How glad am I that I didn't take one of our centre-halves off, because this game could be going to extra time, he says with semi-confidence, not having checked whether it goes straight to penalties or not. I'm still glad I didn't take off a centre-half. Is this a proper highlight? Is this full time? It's us that's coming forward, you know. Schick, 35 years old, he's still overlapping from right back. And he's sent in a ball, and a player who's playing a 6.3 actually has a bit of an impact on the game. Gets in at the far post, and this is looking like extra time. We're waving the boys forward on the XG. We might be narrowly behind, but on the shots, we are narrowly ahead. Let's check whether we get an extra substitute in extra time. Let's see if we can get out there and get this win. We're going to go for it in extra time as well. I'm going to keep it on attacking because earlier in the game when I did drop the mentality, we looked pretty timid. So let's see whether we can go out there and find a third goal in extra time. We've got one sub up our sleeve. We could be in early, you know, here. Here's Kelle's getting down the left. He's got a ball over. Meshta rises. You don't score many headers from the edge of the box, but he's given it a go. Okay, not that you should necessarily be planning penalties at half-time of extra time, but I am going to factor that into the change we're going to make. We're going to bring on Heinrich. The player we're going to bring him on for is Safin, who's not played particularly well. He's got penalty taking of 2, so he would be no use to us, really, if the game does go to penalties. And Heinrich is going to move to right back. And our first choice penalty taker, Schick, who is incredibly tired, he's going to move up and try and play as a winger. And we've got to bear in mind that his acceleration is 9. So maybe we should perhaps swap that to a wide midfielder. But I want to keep him on the pitch just in case the game goes to spot kicks. We've got 15 minutes to navigate first. A late goal conceded here is going to be an absolute heartbreaker after we fought our way back into the game twice, including a very, very late equaliser. And we are racing our way through to penalties now. We're going to pause it one last time. We're not. We're into the highlights. Have we got more late drama? It's us that's attacking. He's in. He's in. Oh, he's had the effort. And the keeper has just stooped down to save it. We've got 20 seconds left of this game. He's done it again. He's got caught underneath a high ball again. Vervusta has saved us again. Vervusta owes us, by the way. He's signed a pre-contract with Genoa. Could he instead be a hero in a penalty shootout? It has gone to pens. And we've got to decide who's going to take them. Schick seems pretty good. Meshta is our second best penalty taker, and he's 9. Furstenhofer owes us. He's off to Dortmund. Kellers has been poor pretty much all game, but we're going to let him take a penalty. And then we've got a choice. We've got Heinrich, we've got Koffler, we've got Vostri. I'm going to go with Vostri because he's calm and he's also got better composure. And let's throw in Koffler after that. Then let's throw in Heinrich. And then after that, my goodness, are we letting the keeper take a pen before the other players? I think we are. And after that, well, maybe Ivkic is at least a striker. He's got penalty taking of 2, but he's a striker. He's coming in after Vervusta. Okay. We're going to give the team talk as well. We have home advantage. I don't care about that. Relax. Pick your spot. Don't change your mind. And here we go. Good luck, everybody. Schick is going to be our first penalty taker. He scored in regular time. And of course, he misses. Oh, he misses when it counts. Oh, so this is a bad start straight away. We're already relying on Vervusta for a little bit of heroics. And he's gone the right way, you know. He's gone the right way. I can't believe Schick has missed our opening penalty. Now we're relying on our top scorer, Shaba Meshta. Now that's a better penalty. He has thumped that into the top corner. We need a save from our keeper. We need him to come up big. He's been fabulous for us this season. And he's got a left paw to it. The strength of the hand. Now we just need the youngster to fire us into the lead. Come on, Uwe. Tuck it away, son. Tuck it away. Tuck it away, son, we said. And now we need Vervusta to step up a second time to get one of those giant gauntlets on the ball. He's done it with his foot. Oh, he's hokey-cokey to save there. Okay. Chan Keles has been awful. Awful this game. And he's awful from the penalty spot as well. Oh, dear Lord. Vervusta, save us again, son. Save us again. I should have put him as one of the penalty takers. Here's Bugger. Oh, Bugger he side-footed it past Vervusta. Let's do some quick maths. This has got to go in. This has got to go in. And then the keeper's got to save one. And it's Vostri. We made a call on those penalty takers who all had 6 for penalties. We went with Vostri because he had the best composure. Oh, and he does have a bit of composure. That's a much better penalty taker than some of our other clowns fired in. And now we're relying on Kate Bush to save us. They are sending Muller forward. Bavushta, he looks composed, doesn't he? He looks confident. Make yourself look big, son. Make yourself look big. Bigger than that. Bigger than that. So I guess if you miss 3 penalties in a shootout, you don't deserve a cup final. But that felt close to me. It felt close. I don't really want to console them. They were a little bit rubbish during most of that game. Far from pleased. Let's fire them up for the league. Oh, the heart is broken, but we have got one more job to do. We did promise you we'd show you that league table, and you can see that things have closed up now at the top of the table. We are just 2 points behind Altac. We're only, 5 points behind Liefering. There is still an outside chance, I guess, of the title, although we would have to go on a pretty strong run towards the end of the season. If we reverse our fixtures and have a look at what we've got left to play before the end of the season, I think this is going to be our next episode. We've got 7 more games until we get to that encounter with Altac, but I feel like it could be a big game. By the time we come back for it, we should know whether there is a chance of the title, whether we still have hopes of promotion, or whether we've blown it all together. In the meantime, why don't you go and check out this video and see if you can find your next FM22 adventure.